Welcome to Newport in the county of Gwent, where Wales are playing England in the 55th international baseball match in a series that started way back in 1908. England, having administered a shock defeat to Wales last year at Liverpool, come here as holders of the Gladstone Rose Bowl, presented in 1957 for annual competition between both countries, and will be seeking to prove that at long last English baseball has emerged from the shadows. The Welsh team, still smarting from that 1979 defeat, their first since 1973, also at Liverpool, are equally determined before their home crowd to regain the Rose Bowl with a resounding victory. Wales showing 4 changes from last year of Steve Haynes, back after a serious baseball injury had cost him his place, Mike Smith-Phillips, who won his only cap in 1974, and Ivor Hughes, also back after injury. Captain is John Smith, again given the honour by the selectors, and who will open the Welsh attack. Again, on paper, Wales look a strong batting side, but can they produce the runs on the day? We shall see. England make only 2 changes from their winning side. John Clark at number 4 with 7 previous caps, and Les Marsh winning his first cap at number 7. And retained at number 11 is Jeff Lynch, whose tremendous bowling and batting against Wales was mainly responsible for England's win last year and earned him the Man of the Match award. England, like Wales, have kept the same captain, Neil Rice, and he is a great motivator in the style of soccer's Brian Clough. England have wisely resisted too many changes and will rely on experience and not trial form. Can they win their first game on Welsh soil since 1970, when they triumphed by 1 run?
Markers!
Referee today is Brian Grove, Secretary of the Welsh Baseball Referee Society in Cardiff, and I've been informed that England won the toss and have told Wales to take first knock. Rather surprising. First batsman for Wales, Alan Harrison. Taking the strike from England's opening bowler, Jeff Lynch. And the first ball in this international is a no ball, indicated by the referee, a foot fault in front of the box. Not a very auspicious start. Brian Groves, very popular, very experienced Welsh referee. That is not a good ball, but Alan Harrison decided he'd been there long enough. It's gone out in the country, out in deep. Alan Harrison is going to his third base, and he's going on for the first 4 runs of the match. Off not a very decisive stroke, but it's 4 runs in the book for Alan Harrison of the Civil Service Club, playing here on his own ground. Tries to play the ball off, and he's clean bowled, and that's the first success for England and Jeff Lynch. Steve Haynes, number 4 for Wales, missed last international match through a very serious injury, but happily recovered. Captain of the Llanrumney side, facing Jeff Lynch, and he plays a neat little shot down in the off-field where it's partly fielded, and he gets a safe 2 runs. He's going for 3 as the ball is put into the diamond, but not towards free base. 3 runs for Steve Haynes. Paul Cross, the only player today playing in spectacles, and he cuts that one into the off, and it taps right down inside the fielder. He's going for his 2nd run. He's been called to the 3rd run by the prompter, and he reaches 3 runs safely. Ivor Hughes making a welcome return as well after a nasty injury which kept him out of the Welsh side last year. Backstop for Wales, earning his 6th cap. That was a good ball, just inside the off peg, well taken by backstop Neil Rice, but left alone by Ivor Hughes. That was another good ball, and it was well struck by Ivor Hughes, out in the country, deep in the leg, and he's reaching for 3, and it will be a comfortable 4 base. The ball is not yet fielded by England. A very good knock, right round the leg by Ivor Hughes. Jeff Stevens, number 10, also from the Llanrumney Club, 28 years of age, a local government officer. Facing the bowling of Jeff Lynch, and he takes his first ball, and it's caught. It's caught by John Jarvis. The English chairman, John Jarvis, takes a brilliant catch. Jeff Lynch is knowing he's had a victim. Bowling to Alan Harrison. And he's pulled down. Oh, it's well fielded by Johnny Jarvis and put it the base. And he's gone. The referee has given him out-based. Well, we shall see that again. That was worth looking at. A good stop by the Welsh fielder Johnny Jarvis, and a good return into baseman Bobby Davin, who lost no time at all in basing Alan Harrison for the second English success. Jeff Lynch with 5 no balls. He won't be too happy about that. Now we'll bowl to Steve Haynes, batting number 4 for Wales. And he pulled out, and oh, it's a brilliant catch by Johnny Jarvis, who'd moved around. Johnny Jarvis had moved around the field, very, very mobile, and took a brilliant catch straight off the bat from Steve Haynes. Paul Cross. And he gives that a tremendous clout right out in the country. He's gone for 2 runs, and will he go round? He's got 3. And a tremendous typical Cross clout off the beat of the bat, and it's 4 runs for Paul Cross once again.
Wales 43 for 4.
Mike Smith-Phillips, batting number 7 for Wales, bearded Mike Smith-Phillips, facing Jeff Lynch. Takes his first ball to the diamond, just escaped Jeff Lynch in the bowling box. Has been chased by Bobby Davin as Mike Smith gets to 2, and he's going for 3 as the ball is thrown in. And there's an appeal, but the ball is dropped, and referee Grove says 3 runs to Mike Smith. Good piece of fielding by Bobby Davin, who come through the diamond, picked the ball up, a smart return into 3 base, but it was a good 3 runs. Jeff Lynch still in the bowling box to bowl to number 11, Paul Gardner. He puts it very short down the diamond. Lynch goes for it. It's a good throw. That was an excellent piece of fielding by Jeff Lynch, who had to run from his bowling box, pick it up sharply, and a return into Bobby Davin, who took it cleanly, and Paul Gardner was based out on 1 base. A very good piece of English fielding. John Smith coming up for his 3rd strike. Still Jeff Lynch in the bowling box. And he bowls. And John, close to the body, pulls it round to leg. A very good stroke. Off the meat of the bat. Gone for 3, and he's going for 4. He's going for 4. Yes, it was a safe 4 runs, well called for by the prompter, and there's a good knock for John, who will be feeling very pleased with himself. Last year, when Wales were struggling, John put 29 runs on the board. A tremendous performance by the Welsh captain. Neil Rice, the English skipper, is coming to the diamond. He's calling on the other bowler, Freddie Price. Left-handed Freddie Price from the St Margaret's Club, winning his 13th cap for England. And Jeff Lynch's figures were 5 men out for 61 runs. I really think that there should have been an earlier bowling change, but I'm not out on the field. Field placings are being altered by skipper Neil Rice. Left-hander Paul Cross punches it high, wide, and handsome up in the air, and is as a fielder of it. Bad luck on the fielder, Jeff Lynch, fielding deep over 3, and Paul Cross is going for 4. And the Welsh score is increasing rapidly. That was wide, he nearly caught him. And he did. Yes, a very good piece of thinking by Bobby Davin, who left his base, picked up the ball 3 yards outside the line, and threw the ball in to Freddie Price, who'd run into 1 base, and Ivor Hughes was very smartly based out. A good piece of thinking by the English 1 base and bowler. David Richards, number 9 for Wales. And oh, he misses the ball, and the backstop dropped if the ball is thrown wide. And David Richards will take full advantage. He's got the 2. He's going for 3. And typical of the English luck, 4 runs there, where in actual fact the batsman should have been on his way back, being bowled and caught by the backstop. Tony Murphy, number 5. One good, yes, just inside the centre peg and well under the chin, and Tony Murphy didn't want to know it. Probably couldn't play it, left it alone, but it's a good. He must strike another good, and that was a good, and he was clean bowled. Bit of nerve possibly, but Murphy with 8 runs to his credit has been clean bowled by Freddie Price. John Smith coming up to bat knowing that Wales have reached 99 runs, and this is rather a big score for international, and he must be thinking of a declaration, I would imagine. John Smith looking around, batting number 2, takes a deliberate almighty swipe at that one, beats the field, gets 2, and he's been called into the third base. He runs are coming fast and furious, and
3 runs!
Paul Cross, with his 4 runs he made in his last fit to pegs, reached his 50 runs in international baseball. Quite an achievement. And of course he is still there. Paul Cross facing the bowling of Jeff Lynch, who's coming into the bowling box. And he hits that powerfully high over the top of the diamond. But it's come under my commentary position here as Paul Cross gets to his third base and a comfortable 4 runs. Making 21 runs to date in this game for Paul Cross.
Wales 107 for 7.
Mike Smith-Phillips batting in for Wales at number 7. Taking strike from Jeff Lynch. He takes his first ball. It's through the crowd in the off-field. He gets to 3 base and he's been called home, and some of the runs are becoming ridiculously easy.
4 runs!
But it's 4 runs for Mike Smith-Phillips. Very pleased on his return to international baseball. David Richards missed on a previous visit to the pegs by the backstop, taking full advantage, is he? And he's clean bowled this time. I talked him out. Took a ball very close into his chest. Well taken by Neil Rice. So David Richards is out for a total of 10 runs he's made. John Smith facing Gary Gold, and it strikes him on his thigh. But he's a docker. He's used to things falling on him. No treatment required. I don't know whether the ball is damaged. Gary Gold politely asks if he's all right, and resumes to bowl, and John Smith shows his appreciation by punching it up in the air, where it's caught beautifully by Dave Thomas, fielding very, very deep over third base. Dave Thomas of the St Margaret's Club took an excellent catch. A very good knock and a very good catch by Dave Thomas.
124 for 9.
And referee Groves said that's a good ball above the knee. Paul Cross left it alone. He'll take the ball that he wants, and that's it. And it's hit it through the crowd again into the bushes on the off-field as he goes round for his 3rd run and is being called home by his prompter for another brilliant 4 runs. The ball has just been found. Mike Smith-Phillips looking around. Good all-round games player facing Gary Gold. A very low ball, well below the knee. It's a bad ball, left alone. Mike Smith-Phillips punches it into the off-field. It beats the field. Thrown into the diamond, but Mike Smith-Phillips gets yet another 4, making his innings total to date 26. And that's the way to celebrate your return to the Welsh side. It's not an attacking field, it's spread right out. And Paul Cross may well go for just a little touchdown to the leg or the slips, because he can get there. There's no infielder. But he didn't. He took a punch. Stopped by the crowd on the boundary, picked up by John Halliday and thrown in. But there was only 2 runs for Paul Cross. Very content. It's 2 runs and there's a man at home. Mike Smith-Phillips to take strike, knowing that there is nobody home. He has to make sufficient runs if he can to get Paul Cross home from 2 base. A dummy then by Gary Gall. Can be very interesting. And he does take the first. And it's picked up by John Halliday, who's throwing the ball in the diamond. No, it's there. Paul Cross does get home, and Mike Smith-Phillips gets 2 runs. But it wasn't a good shot through the diamond. It could have brought the Welsh innings to an end. And there's another bowling change. Jeff Lynch is coming in for his 3rd spell to try and put an end to this Welsh innings. Jeff Lynch to bowl to Paul Cross when Paul Cross decides to get into the batting crease, which he does, with Mike Smith-Phillips still pinned on 2 base. Paul Cross takes his first ball, and he's cleared the field in no uncertain manner. And Mike Smith-Phillips will get home, and Paul Cross makes another 4 runs and receives a great ovation from this Welsh crowd that thoroughly enjoyed this Welsh batting, even if perhaps it's gone on a little long.
Wales 141 for 9.
Mike Smith-Phillips prepares to take strike, and he does through the field. It's a good 1 run. It was a near thing, but he was there all right. There was no doubt it was 1 run. It wasn't a more positive stroke for a man batting number 9. Paul Cross, only man remaining home. Responsibility on his shoulders now to get Mike Smith-Phillips home around remaining bases while he scores himself. And he takes the first ball. And it's partly stopped by Jeff Lynch, but it's missed. It's into the backstop, who fumbles the throw, and the ball is placed in the diamond, and Wales are all out. It was a very poor stroke, really, from Paul Cross. It was through the diamond on the floor. Didn't give Mike Smith-Phillips much chance to get around. Wales, 143 runs in their first innings. An uphill task for England as they start their innings with Freddie Price to open. Left-hander Freddie Price taking a good look round. Freddie, 34 years of age, an experienced international, winning his 13th cap today. Toes the pegs to face the first ball from Welsh captain and opening bowler John Smith. Bad ball, very high, wide, well taken by Ivor Hughes. John Smith, bowling Freddie Price. First extra of the English innings. Freddie Price taking strike. And he takes it comfortably, but it's well caught by Paul Cross. Fielding close in the off-field. Paul Cross took a brilliant catch. And that's a sad start for England, losing Freddie Price to a brilliant catch by Paul Cross off the bowling of John Smith. And he pulled that powerfully with all the beat he possesses, right through the crowd, right into the bushes, as he's making 3, and he's making 4 runs. That's a beautiful, powerful shot. John saw it well, connected well. We'll be very pleased with that, his first scoring stroke in the England innings. Dave Thomas, 31 years of age, from the St Margaret's Club, batting number 5 for England. Takes his first ball, and I don't think it's gone where he intended it. But he's scoring runs as he heads for free base, and he's going comfortable for his 4th run of a rather fortuitous stroke, but it's 4 runs in the book. Plays that confidently up in the air, but it's well taken by Alan Harrison, and Les Marsh unfortunately doesn't score on his debut for England. Nice catch taken by Alan Harrison, very happy on his own ground. Bobby Davin, number 8 for England, 38 caps. Correction, 37 years of age, he's not that old. And he's going for 4 runs. A good throw in by Derek Toos, who left one base, but it was a good 4 runs for Bobby Davin, 37 years of age with 15 caps for England. England 29 for 2, with a good crowd, thoroughly enjoying what's been a very good game of baseball so far. John Halliday facing the ball in. A good ball from John Smith. John Halliday with a peculiar batting style. The bat held right out in front of him, not at an angle, right straight in front of him as he's looking round to the leg field. And he's given 2 goods and out. Lack of concentration, I think, by John Halliday, because there was nothing wrong with those 2 goods, particularly that second good. I think we could take another look at that second good. Dave Thomas facing up to the bowling of John Smith, and he put it up in the air, and it's caught by Steve Haynes, fielding in the opposition. Only had to move 2 yards, took his time, watched it coming down. A good catch by Steve Haynes. Paul Gardner
Extra!
bowling the ball away, hoping to entice Derek Carter to have a pop at it. And at that, and he did that time. He bowled him another wide one, and Derek did fall for it, and he's on his way back. Derek Carter will be disgusted with his stroke on that occasion. John Jarvis, number 3 for England. Bad ball. Takes that one, it's up in the air, and it's well caught by Alan Harrison again. John Jarvis entitled to feel a little bit upset with that one. A good clean punch, well towards the boundary crow, but Alan Harrison had moved around and has taken his second catch, and must be delighted at this on his own ground as he plays for civil service.
.46 for 6.
John Clark, number 4. And another wide ball from bowler Paul Gardner. John Clark, a good punch. Oh, and it's well taken by David Richards. A good punch in the air, and it was going away from David Richards, but he ran and judged it well and took it without too much trouble. An excellent catch by this young player. Gary Gall, number 9.
No ball!
And another no ball, and he sees it in time, and he strikes it in time. And he's heading for his 2nd run, and he's going for his 3rd, and the prompter's calling him home. That's 4 runs. A very expensive no ball was that from Paul Gardner. 5 runs added to the English score. Bobby Davin facing John Smith. Strikes it wide. Oh, and it's a brilliant catch by Derek Toosier on one base. He dived full length to his left and took a brilliant catch to dismiss Bobby Davin. A fine piece of anticipation by Derek Touser, the Welsh baseman. Gary Gall must get Neil Rice around those bases. And again he clouts. Tremendous temperament, this young Gary Gall. Pushes the ball through the crowd as he goes for his third run and gets his skipper Neil Rice home to bat again. A tremendous performance by this young player in a very difficult situation.
England 76 for 9.
Neil Rice facing the Roland John Smith, knowing that they required 130 runs to avoid the follow-on. 113 runs to avoid the follow-on.
Extra!
There's an extra called by referee Groves. Captain opposing captain. And that's a good trout by Neil Rice. It's beaten the field into the crowd, and Neil Rice is going for his third run as the ball is returned in. Some good batting by Neil Rice, the English captain, and he gets himself to 3 base. Gary Gall, number 9. Waiting for the delivery from John Smith, and he takes it. It's not a good stroke, just wide. 1 run, says the referee. Not a very good throw-in, not a very good stroke, but Gary Gall deserves to live to fight another goal. Probably the pressure told on in that time, because it wasn't a confident stroke, but he's still there, and that's all that matters. Now he has to get round the bases. Neil Rice. Bad. He rather ducked into that, but referee Brian Groves was satisfied it was a bad ball and said so. It's in the book as a bad ball. John Smith bowled into Neil Rice. 1 good, says referee Groves. I know the pressure is certainly on the English captain, with his only remaining batsman pinned on 1 base. John Smith taking his time, and it's a no ball, but it was quickly recovered by backstop Hughes and prevented Gary Gall from making progress up to 2 base. A very tense situation. England requiring 113 runs to avoid the follow-on. Have done very well as the ball is punched high wide of 1 base. As Neil Rice gets to 2, gets 2 runs for himself, and Gary Gall is home. So a very good stand by this pair. The English score gradually creeping up, and the Welsh attack and field apparently unable to do very much about it. Gary Gall. England score 92, 113 required to avoid the follow-on, facing John Smith. And this time he is bowled. The ball is put in the diamond by the Welsh backstop, and England are all out. Well, there it is. Wales in their first innings, 143, and England replied with 92. Let's join David Parry-Jones, who is with the 2 captains.
Well, there we are then, a very exciting halfway stage of the international, with the position on the board looking not unhealthy for Wales, but we can now have more expert comment on the situation from the 2 international captains. Next to me, Neil Rice of England and John Smith of Wales. It does look good for your side, John, especially when we think back to the low score you were bowled out for at Liverpool a year ago.
Yes, well, it does look good, but like you say, we were bowled out rather promptly last year, so we can't take nothing for granted. We've got to really go in and do it again this innings now.
All right, we'll talk about that in a second. Let's ask Neil what he thinks about the position. You're what, 51 runs behind on the first?
Yeah, I'm not happy about the situation. We've got a lot to do. Still think we can do it. John's in a bit of a position now where he doesn't know whether to make us bat again, follow on. He's always got in his head that we can put them all out for 12, which you think we can do any time. Could happen today, so I haven't given up hope, but he's in the driving seat, but we'll be there, like.
We'll come back to him in a
Still be
second.
there.
Just tell us a little bit about the state of the game in Liverpool. It must have been given a terrific fillip last year.
Oh yes, tremendous. Last year was about the best thing that could happen to baseball up in Liverpool. We started the junior league last season, and there's loads of young players coming through, which we've never had before. I'm really hopeful for the future, and I think the game can build up as strong as it is down here.
We may see some of these youngsters getting caps then, because we're bound to notice in this side of yours there are a lot of old, familiar-looking faces.
Yeah, well, that's over the years. It's been really, there's nobody been coming up that can take the places off us. You know, a little bit overweight and all this, that, and the other. But we've always been able to put in a good game. But now we've got really good youngsters coming through, and I think, say, 3 years' time, you'll see new slimline England and good enough to beat the Welsh. You know.
Well, we see about that. Last word from you. We've just seen your innings, your first innings. What do you think of the Welsh fielding? I thought it was excellent.
Well, it always impresses me, but what I find the best part about it is to pick up and throw. To us, like, you know, that's a weakness in our game, I think, the throwing. But in the Welsh team, you're just scared to move around the bases. They hold you on the bases with the throwing, and it must knock about 20, 30 runs off each innings. Just the fact that you don't pinch bases, you know. And that's what impresses me more than anything.
Good point. John, thinking about the Welsh innings, there were some choice performances, some good innings, including your own.
Oh, yes, but Paul Cross especially, he's batted like that all season. I mean, there's not a bowler in the game, to my opinion, that can get him out. I mean, he's brilliant. Mike Smith, I mean, he's just steady plodded all the way. I mean, when they stick like that, the ball's like a football, no matter who's bowling. And Jeff had some fair speed on him at the beginning of the innings, and they take some getting out. But when you... Just a minute. When you said about the fielding, no way. There's two boys in the Welsh shirts that'll be with their heads down. They drop catches, and that's never allowed.
Well, I never mentioned the catching. I just
Never
mentioned
allowed.
what impressed me was the throwing.
Well, there's a riot act evidently going to be read by John in 1 second. Thank you both for breaking off to talk to us. Have you made up your mind while you've been listening to Neil here? What are you going to do? Put him in or bat again?
I'll go back and have a talk with the lads.
Great. We'll have to see what happens out there in the middle. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wales have a lead of 51 runs on the first innings, and Captain John Smith has enforced a follow-on, much to the surprise of a great many people. Freddie Price to take first strike, and he's picked it to one base. Derek Touza, and England have made a very bad start. Freddie Price is out, hitting the ball direct to one base, smartly fielded by Derek Touza. And that's 2 ducks for Freddie Price, a most unusual situation, but there it is. Number 2 for England, John Halliday. Will take strike from John Smith. Going away from the off peg, John Halliday looked tempted, but experience made him leave it alone. That was a better ball, and played confidently down through the off-field by John Halliday, a safe 1 run. One good, calls referee Groves, telling John Jarvis to stand up. His natural stance. It plays it dangerously into the off-field between 2 Welsh fielders, but it's paid dividend because he's going for his 3rd run as the ball is returned into the Welsh diamond. And it's 3 runs for John, but a bit of a risky shot, but he's safe, quite pleased with himself. Excellent crowd here, a very good crowd in Newport, and thoroughly enjoying the baseball I've seen from both sides. Welsh captain John Smith delivering to John Clark, who takes it across the diamond to 3, where it's returning, and he's out. A good piece of fielding by number 6 Paul Cross, who was covering the 3rd base. A good return into one baseman Touza, and John Clark is away back to the batting bench, not having scored on this occasion.
England 6 for 2.
Bobby Davin coming up, number 8 for England. Scored 11 in his first innings knock. Very experienced baseballer. Experienced enough to leave that one alone, going away from the off peg. And that one, another run to the English score. John Smith was obviously trying to make England go for that ball going wide of the off. And that time it was, but he was well connected by Bobby Davin. Beats the field as he comes to his 2 base. He's going for 3 runs, and he's been called home by Prompter Clark, and Bobby Davin gets 4 runs. Nice knock by Bobby Davin, a man for a crisis, I would say. Gary Goal, 21 runs in his first innings knock. Will take strike from Welsh bowler John Smith. Very high above the batting crease, but high above the head. And he takes that one, and he treats it contemptuously and puts it out into the bushes as he gets to his 3 runs, and he's got a comfortable 4 runs before the ball is even found. A very good knock, continuing where he left off in the English first innings. Derek Carter, number 10 for England, 30 years of age, a Boilermaker. Let's see what he can make of this next delivery from John Smith. And another no ball. Again, referee Groves indicates it's the front of the box that John is transgressing. Derek Carter, having ignored the no ball, facing John Smith, gives a punch towards Paul crossing the base, who throws it in one-handed, and it's a good goal, yes. A very good pickup by Paul Cross again in an unusual position over the 3-base area. A good throw on top of the 1 base, and well taken by experienced Derek Touza, and Derek Carter is out. But it's an excellent piece of fielding, traditional for the Welsh international side. Good pickup by Paul Cross. Jeff Lynch batting at number 11. He takes the ball, but he only hits it to Derek Touza along the line, and Jeff Lynch is out. And are we on the verge of an English collapse? Dave Thomas didn't bat too well in the first innings, made only 4. Facing a delivery from John Smith. Takes it, he puts it up in the air, and Ivor Hughes, running some 20 yards from the batting crease, takes a good, comfortable catch to dismiss Dave Thomas, who's had a disappointing match so far. Neil Rice, realising that England are somewhat in trouble, being 51 runs behind on the first innings, and are not making all the progress that one would expect, although they are not being disgraced. Another wide ball from John Smith. Neil Rice, English captain. Again, refusing to be tempted by that off ball from John Smith. Neil Rice, number 6, pulls that beautifully off the body, but it goes out in the deep to Mike Smith-Phillips, who returns it very quickly into the diamond, and Neil Rice is pinned on 1 base for 1 run. Les Marsh, number 7 in the English lineup. Takes delivery, John Smith, owing to John Smith, who picks it up and throws it into one base. And Les Marsh is out for 4 runs on this his first appearance in the English team.
England 32 for 6, still requiring 19 to make Wales bat again.
Gary Gall. And it's a beautiful hit up in the air, but it's in the air and it's well taken by Steve Haynes. It was a good knock up in the air, but it was well taken, well read by Steve Haynes, and he moved in quickly and took an excellent catch. And that was the end of Gary Gall. Paul Gardner bowled a great delivery, but it was a great stroke by Bobby Davin. And it's cleared the crowd on the off-field. And Bobby Davin gets the 3 and he's crossed it on to 4 very, very comfortably. And England are making great efforts to make Wales bat again.
46 for 7, still requiring 5 runs to make Wales bat for a second time.
John Halliday, and he takes out, but he misses. It's well taken by Ivor Hughes, who throws the ball into one base, where Derek Touza touches the base, and John Halliday is out. 3 runs this innings. Oh, he's clean bowled again. Paul Gardner has clean bowled Johnny Jarvis, and England are in trouble. They still lack the required number of runs to make Wales bat again. Tremendous piece of bowling by Paul Gardner to dismiss the last 2 batsmen so convincingly, clean bowling them. Bobby Davin of England, last man at home, with Neil Rice pinned on free base in a very crucial situation.
No ball!
It's a no ball. The situation no longer exists. As Bobby Davin gets to 2, is going for 3 as the ball is well thrown in
3 runs!
by David Richards on the off-field, but it's 3 runs plus a no ball, and England will make Wales bat for the second time. Good knock by Bobby Davin, experienced baseballer, knew what was required.
England 54 for 9.
Neil Rice placing Paul Gardner. Bobby Davin on free base, must get home. Neil Rice puts it up in the air, where it's caught cleanly by Mike Smith-Phillips, and Neil Rice is all out for 8 runs, and his match total for 2 innings was 25, but England are in real trouble with just Bobby Davin to bat in their second innings. It now appears that the decision by Captain John Smith of Wales to make England bat again was the right one. Bobby Davin, and he takes that one, and it's up in the air, and Paul Cross have taken it deep and wide of 2 base. Paul Cross made a catch, and the ball is placed in the diamond. England in their second innings scored 58, leaving Wales to get 8 runs for victory, as Alan Harrison comes out as #1 for Wales. Jeff Lynch bowling to Alan Harrison. 1 good, says referee Groves. Jeff Lynch ball in. Bad ball, very bad ball. Extra. Another run for Wales. England must be bowling tight. They haven't a real target to aim for, it's true, but they must bowl tight. They bowled Wales out for 12 last year. That's a high ball. It's beaten the English field. It's 1 run as Alan Harrison comes in for 2. 2 runs to Alan Harrison. 6 runs remaining for a Welsh victory. John Smith to take strike from Geoffrey Lynch. Good ball, good confidence stroke down into the leg field. It's a safe 1 run only 1 run in it. This is John Smith, the Welsh number 2. Derek Touza, third batsman for Wales. 4 caps, had an excellent game on one base this afternoon as a baseman. Taking strike from the English bowler. Plays it very gently and lazily into the hands of Freddie Price in the leg field, and Derek Touza has gone. And that is 2 ducks for Derek Touza. But his base work has been very, very good. He's played his part in what could be a Welsh victory. Steve Haynes, number 4, captain of Llanymyney, has captained Wales, facing Geoffrey Lynch, and punches it high wide over the base. Stephen Haynes gets to 1 run, gets to 2, gets to 3 runs, and it's 3 runs for Stephen Haynes on 3 base. 1 run left for a Welsh victory.
Come on, Red Drum. Come on, Red Drum, the vet's here. Shot the gun ready.
Tony Murphy, number 5, from the local club here, St Michael's, has the opportunity to make the winning hit for Wales. Geoffrey Lynch is the bowler. Tony Murphy is the batsman. Extra, Wales have won because an extra constitutes a winning score. And Wales have won with a score of 8 runs for 1 man out. Wales have won by 10 men to bat. Wales scored 143 in their first innings, to which England replied with 92. And then England were forced to follow on by the Welsh captain and made 58, leaving Wales 8 runs to win, and this they did for the loss of only 1 man. There it is, Wales with a resounding 10 men to bat victory over England, have regained the Gladstone Rose Bowl, and the chairman of the Welsh Baseball Union, Mr. Arthur Thomas, will present the bowl to the winning Welsh captain John Smith, who was so disappointed last year at Liverpool when he captained Wales for the first time. A very happy Welsh crowd, but it must be said in all fairness that England put up a very good performance and made Wales go all out right throughout the game. So from all of us here at Newport, it's goodbye. We hope you've enjoyed our presentation, and our next game on BBC Welsh Television will be the Welsh Brewers Cup final, which will be played in Cardiff on the 9th of August. Hope you can be with us.